because for us, it is a foreign language, a second language. But it's not our mother tongue. Even then, how to speak it correctly, how to balance it, and how to improve our spoken and written writing skills. That is the basic thing. उसके after that उसके बाद तो हम चलते जाएंगे ना उसके बाद morphology में उसमें phonology and
Doctor Sahab, your voice is distorting and there is a noise in your background. So if you can please, get closer to your microphone or whatever you're using, so the students are not getting voice very clearly.
Voice नहीं आ रही clearly.
Yes, आपका mic थोड़े फासले पे है.
मैं एक मिनट वो लगा लेता हूँ. मैं इसका लैपटॉप का माइक यूज कर रहा हूँ ना. Let me.
जी, please. थैंक यू सो मच जी. जिन पार्टिसिपेंट्स ने हमें ज्वाइन किया है उन सब के लिए डॉक्टर साहब जो हैं वो आज जिस चीज़ पर फोकस करेंगे वो सबसे पहले ये है कि आपने अपनी जनरल इंग्लिश जो है वो हाउ यू आर गोइंग टू इम्प्रूव योर जनरल इंग्लिश. आपको पता है कि जब भी कंपटीशन के एग्जाम्स वो चाहे पाकिस्तान में हो रहे होते हैं या पाकिस्तान से बाहर हो रहे होते हैं, अ सिंगल थिंग जिसे हमें पाकिस्तानियों को सामना करना पड़ता है वो इंग्लिश फोबिया का एलिमेंट है. सो डॉक्टर साहब हमें 3 स्टेप्स में चीजें जो हैं वो उनसे हमने रिक्वेस्ट की है. द फर्स्ट स्टेप इज ही इज गोइंग टू डिस्कस द बेसिक थिंग्स अबाउट द इंग्लिश लैंग्वेज.
I'm coming back. Let me use my
डॉक्टर साहब आप कर लीजिए इसे, तो हम डॉक्टर साहब से ये सारी चीजें जो है वो फिर आज सीखते हैं.
डिस्टर्बेंस पीछे कैसे थोड़ी सी डिस्टर्बेंस है पीछे. I don't know why. Why it is there? थोड़ी सी है. Early matters. So let us start.
Sure.
Good afternoon, each and everyone present here. I'm Kamal Handa, and today, as I have been directed by my learned friend, to tell you something about literature, how to answer literature questions, and tell you something how to improve your English. And I will be starting with how to improve your English. Because English is not our mother tongue. It's a second language for us. And every language has got 3 components. 3-4 components होते हैं ना. Spoken part of it, written part of it, listening, speaking, listening, writing, and fourth part. Could anybody from you tell me? Listening, speaking, writing, and fourth part.
Reading.
Anybody? Yeah, reading, definitely reading. So how to improve on this? Spoken part of a language is very easy for us because we basically we are human beings and we adopt things. Spoken part किसी भी language का बेटे बहुत easy होता है. You have got an examples. हमारे यहाँ से आपके यहाँ से illiterate लोग जाते हैं Canada, USA, England, and when they return back after 2 or 3 years, their spoken part of the language is much better than mine is. Although he can't sign his signatures, but even though he speaks English much better, his accent, his spoken part is much better than mine because he has been given a vent, he has been given an atmosphere. So spoken part is provided to you by the environment.
Title.
Definitely. Your mother tongue you learn naturally. कौन सिखाता? कोई भी नहीं सिखाता ना. बच्चा पैदा होता है तो कौन सिखाता है उसे लेकर? Nobody teaches. वो कब he starts speaking mom and कब वो mom पानी में बदल जाता है वो nobody knows. And that is why it's called a mother tongue, because the basic thing we get, basic words we get is from our mom, from our mothers. And as far as the English is a foreign language for us, and how we can improve English, the first thing, there are certain things which make us improve. First and foremost, please, my dear children, don't be afraid to make mistakes. Definitely. Be confident. No. Because how you know that you are speaking, how you know that the people are much intelligent than you? People can only correct your mistakes when they hear you make them. Until unless you make the mistakes, how will you correct them? So don't be afraid. Be confident. Make mistakes. And then second comes, surround yourself in English. Put yourself in an English speaking environment. मैंने यही राणा जी से पूछा भी था कि राणा जी बाइलिंगुअल चलूंगा या सिर्फ इंग्लिश पे फोकस करूं. राणा जी बोले नहीं बाइलिंगुअल थोड़ा सा हो, बट आई डोंट प्रेफर बाइलिंगुअल. बाइलिंगुअल होने का कोई देयर इज नो यूज इन इट, क्योंकि बाइलिंगुअल होने से हमें फिर वो वेंट नहीं मिलती है, हमें वो अपने में कॉन्फिडेंस नहीं आता. You so put yourself in an all English speaking environment where you can learn passively. And the best way to learn is through speaking. Through speaking. Simple. Second, practice every day. Please, my dear children, practice every day. Make yourself, because you are going to be the future teachers. Isn't it? Are going to be the future teachers. So for a teacher, you have to teach people. Basically, as far as I'm concerned, I don't consider myself to be a teacher. I'm a learner. I'm a learner. And throughout my life, I've been a learner. How can I teach other? I can just guide you. Nothing else. I can give you guidance. Nothing more than that. This is what I can give you. And then practice. Make yourself a study plan. Decide how much time a week you are going to spend studying and stick to it. Establish your routine. Then practice the 4 core skills. My dear children, practice the 4 core skills. Reading, writing, speaking, and listening. These are required to improve your knowledge. And third thing, whenever you hear a new word, keep a notebook. Write it down. Pen it down. Jot it down. Use them in sentences. And try to say them at least 3 times when you speak. And foremost is do a lesson every day. Children, short-term goals पे नहीं कीजिए. Fix on the long-term goals. You know what works best for you, and that is why you think about those methods which have been successful in the past. Figure out how you can learn. This is what it can be by memorizing, it can be by reading, it can be by speaking, it can be by summarizing or other methods. Anyone. And don't be afraid, don't be shy to get help. If you don't understand something, You have to go to ask to them. Your future teachers minded will come across certain things, will come across certain questions which you ought to know, or you might not be knowing the answers. But even then, be specific. This is what I have learned in my life. Yes, watch TVs, watch English news, read newspapers, and learn root words. That's the basic thing. Learn root words. They will help you to guess the meaning of the words. And then learn prefixes and suffixes. That is a must. अब थोड़ा सा और अगर हम कहें तो यही है कुछ जो हमें सिखाता है लैंग्वेज कैसे सीखी जाए. मैं आई एम गोइंग ब्रीफ. अब मैं आता हूं द बेस्ट पार्ट ऑफ इट, जिसका आपको पेपर आना है क्वेश्चन में, जिसको आपने सॉल्व करना है. व्हाट इज लिटरेचर एंड हाउ टू आंसर द क्वेश्चंस रिलेटिंग टू लिटरेचर. दैट इज द बेस्ट. लिटरेचर क्या होता है बेटा? व्हाट इज लिटरेचर? लिटरेचर इज अ बॉडी ऑफ रिटन वर्क्स. Just a body of written works. The name has traditionally, इसको क्या है हमने? It has been applied to those imaginative works of poetry and prose which is distinguished by the intentions of their authors and perceived aesthetic excellence of their execution. This is what literature is. And we can classify literature according to a variety of systems. Yes, we can classify it, including language, national origin, historical period, genre, and subject matter. This is all. And now, literature जो है वो वेबस्टर डिक्शनरी जो कहती है वो ये कहती है कि लिटरेचर क्या है? लिटरेचर इज राइटिंग्स हैविंग एक्सेलेंस ऑफ फॉर्म और एक्सप्रेशन एंड एक्सप्रेशनिंग एंड एक्सप्रेसिंग आइडियाज ऑफ परमानेंट और यूनिवर्सल इंटरेस्ट. और एक वाल्टर पीटर थे 19th सेंचुरी के क्रिटिक. वो कहते हैं द मैटर ऑफ इमेजिनेटिव or artistic literature as a transcript, not a mere fact. It's not a mere fact. It's a transcript, but a fact in its infinitely verified forms. अब मैं सीधा आता हूं कि हमें लिटरेचर है क्या हमारा. इंग्लिश लिटरेचर स्कोप क्या है? लिटरेचर हमारा स्कोप क्या है? लिटरेचर जो है इज अ फॉर्म ऑफ ह्यूमन एक्सप्रेशन. जानवरों में तो लिटरेचर नहीं होता ना. इज अ फॉर्म ऑफ ह्यूमन एक्सप्रेशन. और हर बात हम वर्ड्स में एक्सप्रेस नहीं कर सकते हैं. नो एवरीथिंग कांट बी एक्सप्रेस्ड इन वर्ड्स. इवन व्हेन ऑर्गेनाइज्ड एंड रिटन डाउन, it is counted as literature. Yes, children. Yes. हम अपने एथिक्स की बात करें, हम अपने रिलीजियस बुक्स की बात करें, बाइबल की बात करें, होली कुरान की बात करें, भगवत गीता की बात करें, they were not written. They were spoken only. Later on, they were penned. Later, from mouth to mouth, they were carried. So it's not all that right. Those writings, they are primarily informative, technical, scholarly, journalistic, and that would be excluded from the rank of literature by most, though not all. Critics जो है वो ऐसा नहीं कहते. Yes. You people are free to ask me question as and when you feel. Please.
Don't hesitate. Dr. Sahab, the question answer session will be inshallah after when you will be done. I think someone mistakenly muted herself. All right, so we are going to take questions. We are going to ask a number of questions from you, inshallah, after this session. You know, being a Muslim, I will use inshallah again and again.
So, definitely. Highly matters. It's not. और मुझे और बहुत सारे क्रिटिक्स को लगता है ये इफेक्ट भी है. द प्योरेस्ट, द मोस्ट इंटेंस लिटरेरी फॉर्म इज a lyric, a poem. Verse is not the purest form of writing. A poem, a lyric. Because, and after it comes epic, dramatic, narrative. और जितनी भी थ्योरीज हैं लिटरेरी क्रिटिसिज्म की, वो सब they are based on analysis of poetry only. Poetry जो है aesthetic problems of literature, वो जो है they are presented in their simplest and purest forms through poetry only. That is why that it is said that the poetry is the vehicle of emotions. Poetry is the vehicle of emotions, but prose is not. Prose is the vehicle of just basic ideas. Nothing else. This is why they say. And और जितनी भी theories हैं literary criticism की, they base themselves on the analysis of poetry. Oh, great novels. Yes, many novels. All the world's great novels are literature. हम कैसे बोल सकते हैं? शेक्सपियर को कैसे बोल सकते हैं? बर्नार्ड शॉ को कैसे बोल सकते हैं? जिसने एक इतना मोटा नॉवल लिख दिया सिर्फ फोनेटिक्स पे, फोनोलॉजी पे. Could you tell me the name of this novel? That drama? Sorry, it's not a novel; it's a drama. Bernard Shaw has written on phonology. Anybody? Please. Anybody? Can you name?
There is Pygmalion, sir. Pygmalion written by George Bernard Shaw.
Yeah. Pygmalion. Definitely. It's Pygmalion. Definitely. See that book. See that drama. A huge drama based on phonology only. Based on just phonology. Based on phonetics only. On the basis of the phonology, he wants to transform a girl from a rustic girl to an elite girl. So, ग्रीक लोग जो हैं वो 7 आर्ट्स करते हैं. They are empowered by goddess, the muse Leo. जितने भी वर्ड्स की क्लासिक्स है, सर्वे ऑफ हिस्ट्री है, they stand as noble example of the art of literature. और जॉन कीट्स ने भी एक ग्रीक लीजेंड पे अपना जो मेन पोइट्री है, एक एपिक लिखा था. Would you name that? In which a shepherd falls in love with Moon Princess Cynthia. Anybody who can name that? Yes. जॉन कीट्स ने हॉर्स लिखे बहुत सारे, बट उसने ये एपिक लिखा था based on the Greek legend. For a shepherd, he fell in love with the Moon Princess Cynthia. Would you? Anybody who can name that? You are all postgraduates, man. Anybody?
The students may go for any guess, like Dr. Saab is asking, so you may guess any name. If you do not know exactly, you can answer him.
Yeah, any name.
So
No.
Sir, it's
No.
Endymion.
What?
Endymion.
What?
She's saying
Yeah,
Endymion.
Endymion. Yes, 100%.
That's correct.
Correct.
That's correct.
That is correct. Kudos, man. Kudos. So, कुछ पर्सनल डॉक्यूमेंट्स हैं, ऑटोबायोग्राफीज, डायरीज, मेमोस, लेटर्स, वर्ल्ड का ग्रेटेस्ट लिटरेचर बन गया बाद में। वैसे ही एक 14 साल की लड़की, एक 14 years old girl, डायरी ऑफ एनी फ्रैंक, that became a history man. This is how histories are made. और फिलोसफी के भी बहुत सारे वर्क्स हैं, द डायलॉग्स ऑफ प्लूटो, वो सब, ये सब जो है लिटरेचर कहलाता है। लिटरेरी कंपोजिशंस, क्रिटिकल थ्योरीज, वेस्टर्न क्या कहते हैं? अगर हम अर्ली इजिप्टियंस की या सुमेरियंस की क्रिटिकल थ्योरीज अबाउट राइटिंग ऑफ लिटरेचर लिखें तो वो सर्वे नहीं हुई, वो नहीं हुई। अरिस्टोटल द फर्स्ट ग्रेट रिप्रेजेंटेटिव था कंस्ट्रक्टिव स्कूल ऑफ थॉट का, उसकी पोएटिक जो है, his poetics had something been dismissed as a recipe book for the writing of pot boilers. वो बट उसको कोई महत्व नहीं दिया गया, बिल्कुल नहीं उसका कोई भी किया गया। ईस्टर्न में भी हुआ है, इंडियन लिटरेचर, पाकिस्तानी लिटरेचर, चाइनीज लिटरेचर, ये सब। फिर आप पोइट्री का है, जब ब्रॉड एंड नैरो जब हम करते हैं ईस्ट एशियन लिटरेरी ट्रेडिशन, वो उन्होंने एक क्वेश्चन रेज किया था, ब्रॉड एंड नैरो डेफिनेशंस ऑफ पोइट्री, एडगर एलन पोज की एडवोकेसी, उसके पोइटिक प्रिंसिपल थे, 1850 में उसने लिखी थी। क्योंकि चाइनीज में कोई एपिक पोएम्स नहीं है, वर्स नॉवेल्स नहीं है, जैसे रॉबर्ट ब्राउनिंग ने या अल्फ्रेड लॉर्ड टेनिसन में लिखे 19th सेंचुरी में। चाइनीज ड्रामा जो है वो बिल्कुल डिफरेंट था, उसका बिल्कुल डिफरेंट था। बैलेस, हाइकू, हाइकू इज अ फॉर्म ऑफ हाइकू। यू नो व्हाट इज हाइकू? हाइकू इज ए Japanese form of poetry having only 3 lines and having 7 syllables only. 5 syllables in first line, 7 syllables in second, and 5 in third. That is called haiku poem. And those poems are mostly dedicated to nature. So, what is that? अब मैं सीधा आता हूं, आपका ट्रांसलेशंस बहुत हुई हैं पोइट्री लिटरेचर में। अब मैं आ रहा हूं आपका लिटरेचर का बेस क्या है बेटा। लिटरेचर को हमने पढ़ा कैसे है, लिटरेचर का क्राफ्ट्समैनशिप क्या है, लिटरेचर को हम एसोनेस क्या है, उसका स्ट्रक्चर क्या है। पुराने जमाने की पोइट्री जो थी वो मेट्रिक थी, इट वाज बाउंड इन मीटर्स। अब तो बिल्कुल फ्री वर्स हो गया ना, वो पहले जमाने का ऐसा नहीं था। इट वाज नॉट दैट, इट वाज नॉट दैट। अब चार्ल्स डिकेंस में आप लीजिए, चार्ल्स डिकन का डेविड कैपरफील्ड ग्रेट एग्जांपल है। क्लासिक उसमें लियो टॉल्स्टॉय का वॉर एंड पीस, जेम्स जॉयस का यूलिसिस, जोसेफ कॉनकॉर्ड, वर्जीनिया वुल्फ, फोर्ड मेडरोक्स, हेनरी जेम्स, these are all great writers. And then रॉबर्ट ब्राउनिंग, उसकी जो पोइट्री है वो डेफिनेटली ओवरशैडो करती थी उसके प्रोज को, और इवन देन ही रोट प्रोज आल्सो। फिर अब कंटेंट ऑफ लिटरेचर में एक वर्ड आता है सिंबल। लिटरेचर इज एज लिमिटलेस एज द डिजायर ऑफ ह्यूमन बीइंग्स। to communicate with one another. Please, my dear children, you are all just like my children. And you are all aspiring to get through your competitive exam. For that, dear children, this platform on which you have been attached, I think as far as I have gone through their page, I've gone through with their conversations, this is the best platform. They will provide you the best ever knowledge to crack your exam and become a future assistant professor. My all wishes with you people. Definitely, I've cleared I've passed my life. I'm on the fag end of my life, definitely. But even then, still, I wish to teach. Still, I wish to deliver something which I have with me. So the content of literature is as limitless as the desire of human being to communicate with one another. Thousands of years, perhaps hundreds of years ago.
Dr. Sir, it's all right. It's all right. We have extended the time. This meeting is not going to end after 40 minutes. We have extended the time. It's
thank you. तो मैं थोड़ा डिटेल में इसलिए जा रहा था कि बच्चों को थोड़ा सा पता लगे कि लिटरेचर का हिस्ट्री क्या है. Otherwise, I wouldn't have gone in literature in that much detail. But डिटेल में जाने का मेरा एक ही मकसद था कि we should know where from where started. सोर्सेस क्या है हमारे, हम क्यों हैं, इन्वॉल्वमेंट कैसे होती है राइटर की, पर्सनल इन्वायरमेंट कैसे होती है, स्टाइल क्या होता है, व्हाट इज स्टाइल. Style can't be really be said to exist on paper at all. It's the way of the mind of the author. Expresses itself in words. But poetry writing जो है वो art है. Prose writing is not an art. It's purely imagination. आप एक लाइन पे चल पड़े, उस पे लिखते गए. But वो है स्टाइल जो है is the way the mind of the author expresses itself in words. Or since words represent ideas, they can't be abstract literature unless a collection of nonsense syllables can be admitted as literature. No, we can't admit nonsense syllables as literature. Or even the most avant-garde writers associated with the mono-objective painters used language, and language is meaning. So the meaning may be incomprehensible. Oscar Wilde, Walter Pater, and the great 19th century exponents of the art for the art's sake were in fact tireless people who propagated for their views, which dominate their most flowery purpose. Or the well-striver Henry James, with his subtleties, equivocations, qualifications, perfectly reflects his complicated and subtle mind and his abiding awareness of ambiguity in human motives. दूसरा स्टाइल जो था थोड़ा डेजरे का था, humbling, clumsy, dodged, troubled, perfectly embodied with own attitudes. ये सब thoughts different थे. Literature एक art है बेटे. Literature may be an art, but writing is a craft, and a craft must be learned. Talent, special abilities in the arts may appear at an early age. The special personality called genius may indeed be born, not made, but skill in matching intentions and expressions come with practice. Come with practice. अब मैं आपको लेके चलूंगा how to answer multiple choice questions. मैं थोड़ा कर रहा हूँ आज.
Dr. Sab, all right, thank you so much. I have a question that I want to ask you that is associated with the questions.
Yes, please.
parties, we have Alhamdulillah covered the literature, a brief history of literature and what is the difference between prose and poetry, different styles, all the things. So just it's my humble request if you can guide the students about how they can understand, you know, all the things, different theories, like aestheticism is there, you know,
I will come to that. I will come to that.
Thank you so much.
I will come to that. I will come to that. But मुझे पहले था कि इनको मैं ये समझाऊं कि हमने मल्टीपल चॉइस क्वेश्चंस को कैसे अटेम्प्ट करना है, थोड़ा सा वो समझ जाएंगे, स्ट्रेटजीज समझ जाएंगे.
That's very fine. That's very good. That's very good.
So navigating a multiple choice exam for literature is much different than plowing through the multiple choice exam for geometry or history. बहुत different है बेटा, history और geometry से. Really, जो test takers है, in any circumstance will do the best if they first understand the text itself. They fully comprehend the question, and finally they can discern among the often tricky choices in front of them. Easier said than done. Isn't that right? Easier said than done. Very easy to say, but very difficult to do. Well, like anything, this process will feel a lot of less intimidating after we break it down into the manageable steps. अब हम examine करेंगे how the literary text may present different challenges. Then say geometrical equation नहीं है, but you shouldn't fear. You can do it. Yes, my dear children, you can do it. Answering multiple choice questions for literature can be tackled by looking first at the literary text, then the question. हम क्या करते हैं, पहले question देखते हैं, बाद में text को देखते हैं. That is a wrong option. No, that way we can't come to the conclusion. We can't come to the correct answer. First, read the text and then the questions. Definitely. First at the literary text, then the questions, and finally the answer options in front of you. Or then, how does a literary multiple choice test for literature differ than other multiple choice exams? कैसे differ करता है? Essentially, it comes down to the material you are presented with. Yes, most likely, you will have in front of you a passage of fiction or non-fiction, prose, or a well-known poem. कुछ भी है, as opposed to say, you will be expecting to examine the passage and then respond to the multiple choice questions. पहले पढ़िए बेटा. But before you even think about the question, no, don't look at them. No, you need to do something very important. You need to read closely. Yes, children, you need to read closely. What's the point of reading closely now? Somebody will ask me a question. What is the point of reading closely? There's a very important purpose. Yes, there's a very important purpose. You need to engage with the text in order to gain basic comprehension. What is comprehension? Understanding the text. Yes, you need to engage with the text in order to gain a basic comprehension. Then somebody of you will ask me a question. What does it mean? So, well, basically, you pay attention to the material while you read it. You retain the information as you read in your head, and you reach a basic understanding of the material by that. Now the question arises again, a new question: how can these initial steps be accomplished? कैसे accomplish करें? Think about using the process I am going to tell you. Step 1. notice the title if there is one. अगर title है passage का, does it tell you anything initially about the topic of the work? क्या topic, क्या आपको title से कुछ पता लगता है कि ये passage किसके बारे में है? Take notes in the margin. Basically, write a note to yourself regarding the significance of the title. Or you can underline or highlight important words in the title. Highlight कीजिए. दूसरा, read the text. हो गया? आपको टाइटल में बहुत कुछ मिल जाता है बेटा. टाइटल्स वो जो होते हैं वो वैसे ही नहीं होते हैं. It's something in the titles. Then second is read the text. Underline the key words as you go. Go word that aid to the overall understanding of the piece. Take notes in the margin that may help you with the comprehension. Now, can you summarize the piece given? Can you summarize it? And if so, if you can, so it is best to write a phrase at the bottom that summarizes the piece. And is it not completely clear what the piece is about? For instance, a poem that might seem fragmented, हो सकती है. Look back again for pronouns that may help set a context. Keywords that may help in recreating a situation or a story, or any words that indicate speaker's purpose or emotions. And this can be taught. It may not always be clear initially. Write down anything that helps. Then, now the question comes, what type of piece in front of me? What type of piece is in front of us? Fiction? Is it fiction? Is it not fiction? Is it poetry? Write it down. If the context is given to you in the title, take notes. ये लगता है कि बहुत सारा काम है, but it is worth मेरे बेटे. It is worth. And really, once you get the hang of it, it will become second nature. Remember, the idea is to engage, to read and interpret information. To read and interpret information with the text and to gain an overall understanding of the piece before you read and potentially become distracted by the questions themselves. Now, would you now do it? Would you? Please. Anybody? Would you? Yes, please.
Please repeat the question, Dr. Saab.
I said, have you understood how to proceed with the answering of the MCQs? The procedure.
Yes, I'm sure that the students did.
This is what I wanted.
Dr. Saab, meanwhile, our IT person is, composing and writing all the things that you are mentioning. The subtitles are there in the chat box. So every single thing that you are uttering is available in the form of subtitle, and it will be also available. So the students are getting it. So we are transcribing whatever you are saying. So your words are not in the air only. We are going to record every single word.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Now, I'm going to read a poem for you. And I will be giving you the possible questions. And I will explain you how I've come to the conclusion. The poem is My Sorrow, when she's here with me, thinks these dark days of autumn rain are beautiful as days can be. She loves the beer the withered tree. She walks the sudden pasturely. Her pleasure will not let me stay. She talks and I'm fine to list. She is worsted grey, is silver now with clinging mist. The desolate, deserted trees, the faded earth, the heavy sky, the beauty she so truly sees, she thanks and wise for these, and waxes me for reasons. Why? Now, not yesterday. Not yesterday I learned to know the love of bare November days before the coming of the snow, but it were vain to tell us so, and are better for our place. Now, if you have read it very closely, and if you have taken the notes, initially मैंने क्या किया? मैंने ये नोटिस किया कि इसमें कोई टाइटल नहीं है. There is no title of the poem. फिर मैंने रिकॉग्नाइज किया right away कि पोएम के 4 स्टेंजास हैं with a very specific rhyming scheme. हर स्टेंजा की अपनी राइमिंग स्कीम. फिर मैंने क्या रिकॉग्नाइज किया कि स्पीकर का रेफरेंस इज माई सारो एंड कॉल्स इट शी, एंड दैट इज पर्सोनिफिकेशन. सारो उसको उसने शी बना दिया, पर्सोनिफाइड कर दिया. शी लव्स द डार्क डेज ऑफ एटम which I know because the speaker gives many images that relate to the dariness of it. और मेरे विचार में, और मैं श्योर नहीं हूं कि speaker is saying he or she start to see the beauty in the deariness of the at the end. उदासी में देखती है वो सारे. और समरी में मेरे विचार में तो the poem might be about a person who is sad and whose emotional state helps to unveil the beauty of what would otherwise be a kind of depressing time of season. Does this make sense? Is it not that you should know all the answers? Is it that you should read closely and connect the text with the considering meaning? अब क्वेश्चन जो मल्टीपल चॉइस एग्जाम्स के हैं टिपिकली वो थोड़ी डिफरेंट फॉर्म्स में आते हैं, और probably something the test taker जो है doesn't always notice because of, while it's a test है ना. याद है पिछली दफा कब आपने टेस्ट दिया था? आपने बहुत हार्ड किया होगा, ट्राई किया होगा कंसंट्रेट करने के लिए, और आवाज क्या आई? कंसंट्रेट कहाँ हुआ? घड़ी की टिक टिक पे. ओ द टाइम इज फ्लीटिंग, टाइम इज फ्लीटिंग. यस, उस पर ज्यादा ध्यान रहता है. You may have felt flirting test takers, butterflies, बहुत फास्ट पढ़े, despite your attempts not to. Ultimately क्या होता है? What you are being presented with today is a method that will hopefully demystify the process for you a bit. In other words, if you can identify what kind of question is being asked, it will feel to be a lot easier to take. Consider जो आपने poem पढ़ी है. 4 questions of this poem मैं आपको बताता हूँ. Consider the fact each represent a different type of multiple. The central subject of the poem is. अब ये किस तरह का क्वेश्चन है? It's a straightforward factual question है. Simple. Simple. और second question, the poet primarily uses which literary device to characterize the speaker's sorrow. ये question जो है कौन सी है? Ask the test taker. Yes, ask the test taker to draw conclusions based upon literary definitions. अब factor analyze involved है, तो question जो है वो literary devices पे है और definitions पे. और तीसरा क्वेश्चन जो मैं बताना चाहूंगा आपको, in the context, the word simple in the line 9 most nearly means. ये थोड़ा एनालाइज करने का और इंटरप्रिटेशन का क्वेश्चन. choices में, which one is close to your interpretation, that must be the choice. Or speaker's attitude, fourth question, in the poem is primarily one-off. ये क्वेश्चन है इसमें मैं टेस्ट टेकर कह रहा है रीड द टेक्स्ट और इन्फर करें समथिंग स्पेसिफिक, मेक एन एजुकेटेड कंक्लूजन फ्रॉम द एविडेंस. यही होता है बेटा, मॉडल्स हैं टिपिकल क्वेश्चंस के that appear on the multiple choice examination for literature. So this is what I have to speak on it. Now he has asked me, it will be a very big session then, isn't it?
All right, Dr. Saab, it was wonderful. Like we started from, history, then we went in it. Then we covered a lot, many dimensions. So let us take some questions from the students that we have covered so far. So please, dear students, fellow worthy fellows, if you have any question, you may question by unmuting yourself, or you may post your question in the chat box. You may ask question that is related to your exams, or you are feeling confusion somewhere. So we will request that Dr. Kamal sir will answer that.
Or it can have a rhyming scheme. What? Please repeat. Please repeat.
No, Dr. Saab, there was a robotic voice. There was a robotic voice, perhaps. That was about the recording.
Okay.
So I got disconnected actually. So I don't know. The students are asking the question, Dr.
Yeah. They have asked certain. They want something about linguistic के बारे में they want to know.
Okay.
So let me.
All right.
Let me. A small.
Dr. Saab, how do you feel the difference between pathetic fallacy and personification? When John Ruskin is talking about pathetic fallacy, don't you feel John Ruskin is taking another extreme by mentioning, all right, that is related to pathos? So I just want to understand the difference. Don't you feel, John Ruskin is taking it too high to another climax by saying it's pathetic fallacy?
Definitely. It is. I tell you, this is what the critics have said. I tell you, critics, they have gone. Yeah, critics, they have. You know what? He's gone to the extreme, which was not required. He is an extremist. This is what critics feel. He's an extremist.
All right. Doctor, we have a question in the chat box. This question is from Adnan Sahib. Adnan is asking how the novels came from poetry. What was the duration, how the novel came from poetry? Poetry was the first contribution by the writers. So how novel emerged, and when novel emerged, when novel came on the scene of literature?
Long back. Novels, you see, fiction. Fiction is a latest addition. You go through the major works of Shakespeare. They're all poetic. Other dialogues are in poetry. Go to Othello. Any. See, that famous speech of Anthony. The speech of Anthony. Friends, Roman countrymen. And most of his poems, Shakespeare's poems or sonnets, have been taken from his plays only. They're a part of his place. Most of them.
That's fine.
Okay. Now, anything else? How to read closely? How to read closely means take the gist of the writing. Just try to know the gist of the writing. What the writer wants to convey. What the writer feels. Catch his brain. What type of emotions he had when he was jotting down this piece. Catch his brain. Only then you can answer the questions correctly. Linguistic, this is what was told to me. Linguistic is a scientific study of the language. Any language. सबसे पहली जो grammar है.
Dr. Sahab, I'm sorry for interrupting. We have a question from literature. You know, before proceeding with towards linguistics, I would like to request Bilawal Hussain, please unmute yourself, Bilawal, instead of writing the questions, because Dr. Sahab is, you know, he's not focusing on the chat box. So please go on with your voice.
Yes, yes.
Walaikum assalam.
Sir, my question जो है वो ये है कि मिल्टन साहब की जो पहली लाइन है पैराडाइज लॉस्ट से वो ये कहते हैं कि of man's first disobedience and the fruit of that forbidden tree. Disobedience के लिए जो वर्ड उन्होंने यूज किया वो फ्रूट का वर्ड यूज किया है.
Yes.
तो ये कोई ऑक्सीमोरोन आपको नहीं लग रहा है? जरा इसे थोड़ा सा एक्सप्लेन करवा दो.
उन्होंने क्यों यूज किया ये वर्ड को? देखिए, बिकॉज आप अपनी कोई भी उठा के देख लीजिए, एनी कोई भी बुक, चाहे बाइबल है, चाहे वो भगवत गीता है, चाहे वो होली कुरान है, चाहे कोई भी है, एनी ऑफ आवर रिलीजियस बुक्स, उसमें यही है सेम. इंसान आदम हवा का भी कैसे आए जमीन, गलती की वहां. वो जो खुदा ने कहा can't hear.
No, Dr. Sahab, no one is asking the question. Please proceed further.
अरे यार, तुम क्वेश्चन.
Dr. Sahab, please further with your answer.
Of man's first disobedience, and the fruit of the forbidden tree. Yes, is what is it? When the God created Adam and Noah, what he said? No, इसका फल मत खाना, नहीं खाना. But हवा ने क्या किया? इंसेक्ट किया, उसको मजबूर किया आदम को तोड़ने के लिए, पर खाया उन्होंने. The result was, it was an disobedience of the God, it was an disobedience of Allah, and that is why they were thrown away from the heavens to the earth. Okay.
That was wonderful explanation, Dr. Sahab. As you know, Milton was in that age. Milton was quite close to religion. You know, he was writing.
He was a stern. He was a stern Roman Catholic, and moreover, he has taken these lines from the Bible itself. Of the man's first disobedience and the fruit of the forbidden tree. He has taken these lines from the Bible itself. जॉन किट्स ने अपनी पोएम आई थिंक ऑफ ब्यूटी में यूज किया है. आप इनोसेंट शीप उसने कहां से लिया? बाइबलिकल रेफरेंस दिया. बिकॉज जीसस क्राइस्ट वाज एन हर्डर, ही वाज ऑलवेज सीन विद दिस हर्ड ऑफ शीप, एंड सो द शीप इज a symbol of innocence for him, symbol of beauty for him.
So Dr. I have a question. Like you were mentioning, Milton was, you know, he was Catholic, but he converted from Catholicism to Protestantism.
Yeah.
Isn't it so?
Yeah. And he became a stern Protestant. Protestant. John Milton, after losing his eyesight, when he ऑन इज ब्लाइंड, जब उसने वो लिखा ऑन इज ब्लाइंडनेस, तो उसमें उसने यही कुछ कहा ना कि क्यों ले ली मेरी आंखें, अभी तो मैंने बहुत कुछ करना था इस संसार में, बहुत कुछ करना था, अभी तो मेरा काम पूरा
Bilawal,
नहीं
please
हुआ।
go on with your question.
यस
सर मेरा सेकंड क्वेश्चन अगेन पैराडाइज लॉस्ट की जो फर्स्ट 33 लाइंस हैं उसमें से है कि मिल्टन एक वर्ड, फर्स्ट वर्ड जो है वो 6 टाइम जो है वो यूज करता है। फर्स्ट डिसोबीडियंस, हु टॉट फर्स्ट, से फर्स्ट, ये 6 टाइम उसने यूज किया है। क्या इसकी कोई स्पेसिफिक सिग्निफिकेंस है?
इसकी स्पेसिफिक सिग्निफिकेंस बेटे, मोस्ट ऑफ द क्रिटिक्स से that he, because he was a religious man and he wanted to emphasize, he wanted to show the future generations, he wanted to tell the future generations कि this is a stark truth कि हम जो हैं गलतियां करते हैं, हम गलती के पुतले हैं, हम बार बार गलतियां करते हैं। वो उसने रिपीट, स्ट्रेस करने के लिए रिपीट करते हैं। रेपिटेशन क्यों करते हैं पोएट? टू स्ट्रेस ऑन देयर सेइंग्स, to make, to stress on the subject they want to say, to subject to.
That's wonderful, that's wonderful. And especially, Dr. Sabha, in religious testament we see, we use the word again and again and again to emphasize that more and more, you know, like in Muslims, we being a Muslim, you know, there is a salah and zakat, and these words, they have been used many times in the holy book, like Allah wants that Muslims should say namaz again and again.
This is to stress, this is to stress. वही उसने वो water everywhere but not a drop to drink, water everywhere but our throats were वो, the famous poem.
So any other question from literature? Dr. Ali was perhaps here, he was about to ask some questions. So if you have any other question, please go on. So Abdullah Khan wants to ask a question. These are very brilliant students and aspirants of our ongoing session. Abdullah
definitely. I love it.
And the guy who asked the question, Bilawal is very, you know, very mashallah brilliant person.
Definitely.
So Fatima, Habiba, Ikra, Rana especially. So these students, and especially Dr. Sabha, a very worthy scholar, Muhammad Shahid. He's, you know, he's my fellow and he's also here. So a lot of scholars are here, a university lecturer are here who are listening you, and that's very wonderful thing. So we have a question in chat box, Dr. Sabha. The question by Abdullah Khan is, okay, just let me open it. All the participants are okay. I lost the question, unfortunately. So let me go there. Okay, willing suspension of disbelief. That is the question by Abdullah Khan. What is willing suspension of disbelief?
Willing suspension of disbelief.
Yeah.
Okay, disbelief. What is disbelief? Abdullah Khan, what is disbelief? Could you tell, please?
Actually, I ask questions whenever we study corporate. So I have studied.
Yes, your voice is not clear.
Abdullah is from northern areas of Pakistan, sir. So most probably there is a noise problem.
Sir, if you elaborate it.
Abdullah, will you write up? Will you text the message? Will you text the message in your chat? I will answer it.
Let's take another question. That is Rhyme of Ancient Mariner by H.G. Coleridge. Okay, Luqman Ali answered your question. You
I was talking about
who wrote Water Everywhere by H.G. Coleridge.
Yeah.
H.G. Coleridge, you know, who was an
Rhyme
ardent lover of nature and opium as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the next question is defined
itself is. Yes.
Yeah, Doctor, a very important question by Bilawal Hussain. Define egoistic sublimity of Wordsworth. Egoistic. William Wordsworth was egoistic.
Yeah. Definitely he was egoistic.
So how it was?
I tell you how it was. Bilal, he wrote 156 poems on one topic Topic 156, and some say Lucy was his sister, some say Lucy was his beloved. And he was a poet of nature, but when he lost Lucy, nobody knows who Lucy was. Some critics say he was his sister, or some say he was his beloved. But when he lost Lucy, he concentrated on Lucy poems only. He wrote 156 Lucy poems, all Lucy poems. So he was an egoist. और उसका झगड़ा हुआ, वो पार्टनर थे, वो क्या नाम है ये शेक्सपियर, वर्ड्सवर्थ एंड वन मोर
एस.सी. कॉलेरिज.
कॉलेरिज से झगड़ा हो गया उसका, बट गए दोनों इसकी ईगो की वजह से. बाद में इसने लिखा कि आई एम वेरी सॉरी. बाद में ही रोट, till this day I repent what I did. He did it.
Yes, that's a wonderful explanation, Dr. Saab. Like I got my concept very clear under your worthy guidelines. So yes, Bilal, one the poems is a slumber did my spirit seal. Bilal, what is the question exactly? So we are unable to bring the question out of this statement. So Dr. Saab, it was a wonderful session. So if you want to add anything further, so it will be an honor, a feather in our cap.
I tell you one thing more: linguistic and how to improve general English. These two things are left. Give me some time any day. Let me day after tomorrow, any day you feel.
So we will inshallah request you once again before the commencement of the final exams. Our last question is there. What is the difference between play and drama? And this question is by Muhammad Shahid from Sialkot. So what is the difference between play and drama?
Play, one act play and drama. What do you mean? What do you mean by play and drama? What's the difference? Basic difference between play. ड्रामा में कितने एक्ट होते हैं, प्ले में भी होते हैं, ड्रामा में बहुत सारे एक्ट होते हैं, एक्ट 1 एक्ट 2, उसमें सीन्स होते हैं. शेक्सपियर रोट प्लेस. ड्रामा इज समथिंग, मोनोलॉग है वो. ड्रामा एक मोनोलॉग है. ड्रामा अब आई कांट एट प्रेजेंट, आई एम सॉरी, आई वोंट बी एबल टू टेल यू मोर अबाउट इट because थोड़ा confusion है मेरे mind में.
No issues, Dr. Saab, no issues. Obviously, yes. These are confusing terms, the play and drama. Whenever you are going to...
definitely. There's a vast difference between them. Then one act play, drama. There are 3 different concepts.
So, next question is, Dr. Saab, by Fatima. She is asking, T.S. Eliot, objective correlative signifies the writer's ability to objectify the desired states of mind. Her question is related to T.S. Eliot's objective correlative. What is this particular theory and why T.S. Eliot has utilized this theory, objective correlative?
Eliot's objective correlative theory. Okay.
Meanwhile, another question is bound and free poetry. They are asking what is bound poetry and free poetry.
Bound is the metric poetry. It is bound in meters.
Yes.
A syllable for 2 syllables followed by a stressed syllable, and this is what a metric poetry. And free poetry is which is free from these bonds of the meters. Free
exactly.
Words.
A video is also available on the official page, official channel of MOCC, that is explicitly mentioning the difference between free poetry, bound poetry, formal verses, informal verses. So Fatima, yes. You can also go through. Adnan, you can also watch those videos. Next question is, sir, who named Donne and his followers as metaphysical poetry? His question is by Muhammad Ibrar. He's asking metaphysical poetry. Why metaphysical? So my question is, metaphysics are there, So why metaphysical term? You know, this term was associated with these bunch of poets after centuries, after 18th and 19th century. So why metaphysical?
Why? Because John Donne, he wrote 156 holy sonnets. Especially on death, what he wrote. What he wrote on death. Death पे क्या लिखा था उसने कि तुम कौन हो मुझे मार नहीं सकती हो तुम तो खुद मरने वाली हो तुम तो गुलाम हो राजाओं की तुम तो गुलाम हो तुम तो हेल्प लेती हो राजाओं की तुम तो हेल्प लेती हो पॉइजन की तुम तो हेल्प लेती हो मौत के लिए और पर मैं तो अमर हूं मेरी आत्मा को तो नहीं मार सकते तू मेरे जिस्म तो कपड़े हैं मेरे उतर जाएंगे thou not be proud that thou not be proud so it is all metaphysics na he personified death and it's a metaphysics subject he said death is a living person and death जो है वो तो खुद मर जाती है वो मुझे क्या मारेगी
Exactly, Dr. Sab. Keeping the shortage of time in view, let me take the last question. So this last question is, what is the difference between fate and free will? According to literary point of view, the questioner he's asking, what is the literature? Like, do mention about the literary point of view, in the difference between fate and free will.
Fate
and free will. Fate and free will. What is the difference between fate and free will?
Fate is what? When I tell you one thing. So when you see somebody talked about Eliot only. तो Eliot ने क्या किया था? उसके डिक्शन के उसके जो एक्सपेरिमेंट इन डिक्शन थे, उसके जो स्टाइल थे, रिविटलाइज पोएट्री की उसने, एसेज लिखे, और फिर उसने क्या किया? क्या क्वेश्चन मुझे दोबारा बोल यार प्लीज
sir the question was about the difference between fate and free will. Fate and
free will.
Yes.
Free will. Fate क्या है? Fate is what is your what fate is? Fate क्या है आपका जो unpredictable है? What is going to happen in the future? You don't know it. And free will is what is free will? I will have my free will to do this thing. Free will में क्या फर्क है फेट में? पोएट्स ने बहुत सारे राइटर्स ने भी यूज किया है फेट को. फ्री विल क्या होती है? How to explain that, yeah? No, I won't be able to explain. Free will and fate. Fate is what is.
What you are bound to do, Doctor. Like in Oedipus, you know. Oedipus Rex is having many examples. You know, free will is there and the fate is there. He is escaping from the all the consequences, from all the incidents. But still,
when you escape from the consequences, na, you just blame on the fate. Just blame on the fate. When you want to escape from the realities of life, when you want to escape from the results, you said it is my fate. It was my fate. And free will is when I am acting on my own will, when I am performing something on my own will. It's my free will to do it. I won't bother for the fate. I won't bother for the result. I won't bother for anything.
All right. So, Dr. in the end of this session, at the end, let me thank you from my student side and from this platform of MOCC.
Thank you all.
No, Dr. Saab. Thank you so much for providing your precious time. It was really a vivacious session. We learned a lot, many things from you. And inshallah, the day is not away when we are going to take you on board once again with, you know, all the tricky questions. Meanwhile, all those students who have missed today's session, any part of session, the recording of this session will be available on our YouTube page, on our YouTube channel. Meanwhile, Dr. Kamal PC Anda is available for you. In case you have any question, you can write your questions to MOCC and we are going to bring the answers and we can arrange a session once again with Dr. Saab. Dr. Sahab, lots of love from Pakistan to you guys. For India, may Almighty Lord of Heavens bless both these countries with peace, prosperity, tranquility. We want peace, and I'm sure the day is not away when there will be peace, inshallah.
Thank you, Amin.
So thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. That's all.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for letting me your ear. Thank you, everyone, for hearing me so patiently. Thank you, everyone, once again. Bye.
Thank you. Allah Hafiz.